call this meeting to order. We'll say the pledge of allegiance. Everybody right? Pledge of allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Call Mayor McNabb to give the invocation, please.
Father, we come to you tonight, thank you for your many blessings for this day. We pray you be with the board and the city. We make decisions that affects our citizens. Just lead, guide, and direct. We ask in your name. Amen.
I'd like to welcome everybody tonight, participating in this planning and zoning meeting. Look forward to hearing your input. This time we'll take a motion to approve or amend the agenda. All right, make a motion. All in favor? All right, we're going to swear in our new board member.
Okay, Patty, if you come forward, please. Joe, little Joe, do you want to stand up here as well?
Come on, Joe.
All right. You know how to Bible for it? Put your left hand on the Bible, and your right hand. You repeat after me. I, Patty Housen. I, Patty Housen. Solemnly swear or affirm. Solemnly swear. That I will maintain the Constitution. That I will maintain the Constitution. And the laws of the United States. And the laws of the United States. And the Constitution. And the Constitution. And laws of North Carolina. And laws of North Carolina. And the city of Trinity. And the city of Trinity. Not inconsistent therewith. Not inconsistent therewith. And that I will faithfully discharge my duties. And I will faithfully discharge my duties. As a member of the Planning and Zoning Board. As a member of the Planning and Zoning Board. Of the city of Trinity, so help me God. Of the city of Trinity, so help me God. Thank you, ma'am. Thank you, gentlemen. And Patty, you can take your seat. Right here.
Thank you, guys. I see one more.
I do. Too many cheeks and other things.
Welcome, Patty. How did you say your last name?
Thousand.
Housen.
Barbecue Joe.
Okay. Well, welcome. That is it. All right. Take a motion now to approve the minutes from May 26, 2020 meeting. Second. All in favor? All right. We're going to open the public hearing now.
Yes.
Okay. All right, we're going to open the public hearing. Anyone needs to recuse himself from voting due to a conflict of interest? All right, this is going to be to open the public hearing for rezoning of the eastern portion, 6797-412-387, and all of 6797-525853 from highway commercial to residential mixed. Take it from here, Mark.
All right, this is and I'm on page 9 of your packet. So if you want to page 1. Stated this is the property that's being rezoned from commercial to residential mix. If you see on there, if you're not sure the exact area, if you know where the second entrance to Bellwood and Chateau Drive, this is the portion that doesn't have any homes behind it. It's basically across the street from that. Not perfect, but you can see on the map on page 9, you'll see it's right there. Is everything east of that, that Keystone is asking to make a residential mix so they can put in apartments. What you can see here is that the property, basically, I'll give you a quick history. The property was residential ag, except for the area that's where the meat market's at. That was commercial coming into the city, but everything else really residential ag. It was put into highway commercial by the city of Trinity. It's around 2000. The land use for this is a regional center. This is the Finch Farm Road, Hopewell, Finch Farm Road, I-85 interchange. The properties that is north of this is Bellwood. Specifically, we're just talking about the apartments because the commercial sector is not asking for rezone. The apartments, north of that is Bellwood, south of that is the Interstate I-85, east is agriculture, and to the west is the commercially zoned. Right now it's agriculture to the west. This whole parcel is being rezoned as 27.6 acres. There is a stream going through the middle of the property. That would give it a 30-foot buffer around the stream. There is no sewer on this property. The applicant has got two options to look at to get sewer to this property. Either they go along with the stream and bore underneath I-85, or they'll have a lift station that'll pump up to where the Colonial Circle Road is at. The far western of the property, if you look at page 10 or page 9, you can see that the western property line boundary, eastern property line boundary, you go straight up north and see where it hits the sewer line right here in Florence. So that's their options for the sewer. And that's something that they have to choose between. There is a cost differential between the two. The topography is 62 is the high point, everything either goes south or east from there. Buffer, there will need to be a buffer along NC 62 of Mr. Apple's property. Stormwater, there will be one master pond for the commercial property. It's actually on the apartments. If you look at your plan, your site plan, make sure I tell you right. The stormwater pond for some of the apartments and for the commercial property is right under the, basically it's the pool and townhouse, and the pool and the recreation community center that's right when you come in through the entrance. This is that right there, right below is where the pond will be at. See, in this development, we'll have a swimming pool, a recreation center, playgrounds, that sort of thing with it. The other stormwater devices they will have on here is between the stream and the parking, the largest parking lot you see here on the south right here. Another stormwater device beside Mr. Apple's property on the eastern side. There is water here. Water is not an issue, but there is a sewer issue here that they have to make a decision on. Either again pump at the Colonial Circle or bore underneath the interstate. Transportation, there is a multi-lane roundabout for NC 62 and Finch Farm Road that's it is funded. The left date for the Finch Farm Road project is June of 2021. And from that point, we've been told that the project will take 2 to 2.5 years to complete. So depending on, I'm not sure it'll be done in phases. They didn't exactly tell me which side. It's going to be the north side, it's going to be first or south side, and how they're working through it. So not exactly sure with the time. The applicant is doing a transportation impact analysis study to with North Carolina DOT to figure out exactly what roads need to be widened, right turn lanes, and turn lanes in the middle. I have been told by DOT that we required to both on 62 and Welborn, but at the moment I haven't seen exactly. Congestion management is DOT's group, and kind of by its name, they told me basically that they're congested at the moment. They expect to have their TIAs to them in mid-August. Traffic count on NC 62 right now, 6,400. Traffic count on Finch Farm Road between the interstate and 62 is 14,000. And that's what I've got at the moment for the northern piece. Is there any questions about that specifically?
are you gonna, we're doing these two separate?
That's a question we have with Bob. Do you want to do them as two separate? It's up to you.
You might want to make, I guess, board meeting makes a presentation of both.
Yes.
Okay, do that while you're there.
Right there. Okay, this is page 16 of your packet. This is the rezoning of the western portion of 67974123887 residential ag to highway commercial, and the rezoning of the rest of the parcels, which is the eastern portion of 67974123887, all of 67976138814, and 67975190006. From RA to residential mix. Keystone would like to propose a 214 townhome development and 100 single family homes off of Wilbur Road. Okay.
Real quick, did they propose how many were going to be on the first track? Apartments?
Say that again.
Did they propose how many apartments were going to be on the first track? First week, whatever.
You mean, oh, I'm sorry, yes, it's going to be 33 apartments, 12 buildings, so 396 apartments, so 396 apartments. And again, this whole thing is done in phases. It won't be 396 one day and 214 townhomes in one day. It's all phased out. I'll let the applicant talk about that. Or how they're phasing things in. Yeah. Again, I'm on page 19. I can see there the portion they're talking about highway commercial. The highway commercial is 4 acres. It's on the far western portion of the property. The other stuff is residential mixed. Is the rest of the property. Again, it is 214 townhomes. There is also a clubhouse, parking lot, and right? Yeah, I believe there's a swimming pool with the townhomes, but I'll let them discuss that. The single family home is a single family. I did mention the apartments too, but there's going to be a homeowner association with each three. Now, they're not all together as one, they're 3 separate homeowners associations. With this property, to the north is the interstate, to the south are single family residential, the east has single family residential, and the west is the VC, the commercial property. Again, total size of the property is 105.9 acres, 3.9 of it's highway commercial, 102 is residential mixed. It's the same as the other one. It's in the Finch Farm Regional Center, Finch Farm I-85 Regional Center, so it is compliant with our land development plan. There is a stream going through the middle of the property, like similar to the property up north. The difference is if you look on back on page 19, you'll see that there's a sewer line that goes with it. So there is sewer on this property. What it does, it heads back to the Twinwood lift station. Eventually sends it to Steeple Gate. There's no flood zone on this property. Most of the 102 acres goes to the east or to the south. There is the portion that's highway commercial that actually goes to the southwest towards Finch Farm Road. When a commercial site is developed, there will be need a buffer landscaping along Finch Farm Road, and along the stream will be a 30-foot buffer. They've got stormwater. They've got one master stormwater pond for townhomes and highway commercial. It's a large piece. To the east of it, sort of brings around the boundary line. And then the single family residential has one stormwater device, also close to the middle of the property. Transportation, again, there's a multi-lane roundabout from Relvin Road and Finch Farm Road. It's the exact same as the other one. The TIA is, they're basically on a 30-day return time for them, so they expect to get something back in mid-August. At that point, city attorney will require all recommendations, requirements in the TIA that are recommended for Welborn Road. Any turn lanes or right turn lanes from that analysis will be required. Traffic count on Welborn Road is 2,700. The traffic count on Finch Farm on the south side is 12,000. The start of the road widening is June of 2021. Is there any questions or comments about the total piece?
So the first, on item 2, there's about 396 apartments. Was there anything else on that side? Was there some single family homes too?
No.
No? Okay, I'm sorry. So the 396 on one side. 396 on the other side. 2.
314, it's 314 on the south, 396 on the north. There's 700.
About 1,400 cars. Don't you usually allow like 2 cars per household? Would they?
Well, the minimum, you have to provide at least 2 parking spots. Whether or not if your cars are run and are registered in the state of North Carolina and legal, we don't have a parking ordinance. We do have a parking ordinance for tractor trailers, but we don't have a parking ordinance for sheer number of cars. Is that your question?
What you
No, I'm
can
just
kind
thinking
of
like the
expect to
county,
have.
yeah, your county, telling what DOT says we have now, and I'm trying to, in my mind, figure out how much more traffic that's gonna make, and we are just trying.
Okay.
I would say about 2 cars per household.
Yeah.
1,400 cars.
You might want to add another, as far as the traffic, if you're talking about traffic trips per day, you're more like 2.5. So, you should be thinking more, I think the case, the one thing DOT doesn't give me information on until I get the analysis of what is the capacity of the street. Yeah, so without knowing the capacity, it's hard for me to give you a specific on.
But what about schools? Because regardless of what Whitmore says, I've been out there, and it's like half already. I don't care what they say.
Well, I mean, that's one of the things from this project, the previous project too, is, the city needs to talk to DOT about widening that, regardless of this project happens or doesn't happen. It seems to be a B regardless. I guess I don't know the different word to say, but this basically is. That seems to be a problem child no matter what.
But the school itself can have them.
The schools,
In fact, like the schools are, you go down there, the hallways are so full, you can't really get.
Whitmore High School is around 70% capacity. Trinity High School is not the same. So the numbers actually in the high schools have actually dropped down. Since the millennial generation has moved on, and now Gen Z, there's just a lot less kids than there used to be. So, as far as a traffic issue going to the school, what the school has capacity for and what the traffic capacity may not be the same thing.
We'll hear from the developer or the spokesperson.
My name is Judy Stalder, 3735 Admiral Drive in High Point, and also here to answer your questions is Scott Wallace from Keystone. The overall proposed development includes tracks both north and south of I-85, and both tracks are designated for your land use plan as regional center, and that's defined as containing a mixture of larger scale, auto-oriented development, carefully designed to maintain and enhance the function of NC 62 and the aesthetic quality of the entire community. And that's what Keystone does well. We carefully design our communities. This is a large development, and both tracts will have commercial and residential uses. But we design a variety of housing for all members of the family. Young families and single-family homes, young adults and apartments and townhomes, and the older generation in smaller homes or townhomes or apartments. And then the commercial part is driven by the number of families living on the residential tract. There'll be plenty of open space with streams through both tracts that require broad buffers, and it's connected open space, so it flows through the property. And although large developments can seem overwhelming, this is an important opportunity for us, as well as for Trinity, to create a cohesive community here rather than trying to piece together smaller developments without the benefit of the overall design. And it's critical to develop properties by an interstate with a logical overall design that takes into account the advantages of having quick access to the whole triad, but also being able to account for building setbacks and buffers that protect the future residents. As part of the overall design, a transportation engineer will conduct a full-scale traffic impact analysis as required by NCDOT, and the scope of the study will be determined by NCDOT, and will result in recommendations on what transportation improvements need to be done in the area in order to accommodate this development. And we will have the results before we go to council, even if we have to postpone before talking to council. But we will make sure that we have all that information. Now, on the northern track, the western part will remain commercial, and track D, the eastern part, we're requesting the RM zoning to allow resort-style apartment community. It attracts downsizing adults as well as young professionals. It'll be a Class A development, so rentals will start in the 900s for one bedroom and go on up to 14 or 1500 a month for 3 bedroom. It'll be mostly brick with horizontal siding and shade accents. And there are 396 units. That's a density of 14 units per acre. But that density is necessary to support the future commercial development and to provide the amenities that our residents expect. There'll be a resort-style pool and clubhouse, workout room, yoga studio, game room, pet parks, playgrounds, and more. And I like that there's a link on the city's website that shows what Keystone does and how we built other properties like this in the triad. We've done this before, and we believe that we do it well. There are landscape buffers required by the city of Trinity, but Keystone has specific requirements for landscaping and fencing that we do anyway. Keystone manages their own property, so we don't just build it and move on. We build it and then we manage it. And so we're here for the long run to ensure the future success of the project. There will be private roads within the development that connect to the commercial. So some of the trips per day would actually be within the track. And there will be sidewalks as well, so some of those trips can be pedestrian trips. This is a multi-year project. It'll be 18 to 24 months before the first home is even ready, and it will be built in 2 phases. The northern tract is apartments and commercial. The southern tract is appropriate for other types of less intense residential uses to round out our whole community. In accordance with your land use plan, Keystone is reserving commercial property up next to Bench Farm Road. And we don't have any current plans to develop that tract, but it will be commercial. Moving east, we plan townhomes next to that commercial, so we can see how we're transitioning from the heavy activity at Finch Farm Road to less intense as we go east. There'll be 214 townhomes, they're mostly brick. The price range will be low to mid 200,000, and they'll range in size from 1,500 to 2,500 square feet. They'll have a pool and clubhouse, and like apartments, they attract empty nesters and young professionals. Further east will be the single-family homes, and they'll sell in the upper 200,000 to upper 300,000, with a size range of 1,600 to 3,600 square feet. And these homes will be built on market demand. So it's a multi-year project. This isn't going to happen all in 2 years. We'll build maybe 40 to 50 homes per year. There was a question about schools, and here's what we know about schools from experience. We know that school systems have facility planners, and they take it very seriously. They keep an eye on development so they know what's coming based on land use plans and zoning. And from our very local experience, we know that although single-family homes attract families with children, not all the houses are completed in the same school year. Not all the children will be school age. Some will be older, some will be younger. Not all will be at the same grade level, and not all the students will even attend public schools at this price point. Apartments and townhomes have minimal impact on schools, with most of the residents being empty nesters and single professionals. We do attract some families to those, but it's not like in single family homes. So the impact on the schools would come from the single family homes, which is our smaller number of homes. Keystone can build an exceptional community here in Trinity. When we looked at your land use plan and talked to your planning staff, this is the development we envision. I'm happy to answer any of your questions, provide more information as it's needed. We ask for your favorable recommendation.
What do you mean by mostly brick? What is that, the percentage, like, what are,
Well, we do mostly brick, but soffits and trim is often vinyl. So if we say all brick, then
Right. But it's not a brick face and it's 3/4.
Right, yeah, the single family homes have a variety of siding types, but they're all plastic.
All right, thank you for that presentation, Dan. Would you like to speak on it?
I'll be brief. I'm Scott Wallace. I'm president and founder of Keystone. We've been in this business for nearly 25 years. My office address is 3708 Alliance Drive in Greensboro, and I'm just mainly here. We're really excited about this opportunity to be able to create a really neighborhood center here that's going to really drive this whole regional corridor. And I'm just here to answer any questions you may have. So thanks for all this.
Some may arise, so we'll keep you posted. Thank you. All right, at this time, we'll take anybody who wants to speak for the request. Yes, sir. Come up to state your name and address, please. Yes, this is for the request.
You approved your request?
Oh, did you say four?
Yeah.
No.
Okay, well, it doesn't sound like anybody's going to, so we'll just go ahead and move to anybody who wants to speak against the request. And is that you?
I'm against it.
Okay, so state your name and address and,
Yeah, my name's Eric Carrera. I live in Hidden Valley Development, off of Melbourne Road. And that's a beautiful layout for that development. It really is. I mean, everything with gold-plated mailboxes. Really, it is a nice layout on both sides, 95. But it's not the location. That's not the location for that development. You know why? Do I really need to explain the traffic situation in that area because they've put 4 roundabouts, 2 on each side of the I-85, plus widening Finch Farm Road, which it was going to be 4 lanes, but on Finch Farm Road, you have Steeplegate that followed it, and they had it cut down to 3 lanes. Those 4 lanes. Okay, well, here's the problem. On Welborn Road, you have 5 developments, 2 fire departments, a mobile home park, Hopewell School, and all the houses and people on that actual road. Then on the Unity Street side, you've got Colonial Village, which is really big, Colonial Country Club, you know the size of it, Breckenridge, it's huge, Stone Gables, you got Sheets traffic, okay? Then you have transport trucks. I'm going to Thomasville up by BP and approaching 95. Almost every single time I go up there, I'll see a transport truck or 2 going into or from Mohawk, okay? But on that Unity Street side, you also have 3 transport truck businesses that transport trucks are coming on and off at that point to go out Unity to even Old Thomasville Road. There's 2 transport truck businesses out there. Okay, then you come to Highway 62 and you have Barbecue Joe's, you have Bellwood, you know the size of Bellwood. A new development being built down from it. You have roadside houses and people living on 62. And you also have part of Lakeview Forest access. Okay. Okay, you go to the Finch Farm Road side. Okay, we all know how big Steeplegate is, the amount of traffic that they put out in Steeplegate Village. They're just building that now. BP traffic, Wheatmore School traffic during school in the morning, afternoons. You know how that is. It's really a nightmare. You have traffic also coming from High Point out Unity to hit Finch Farm Road. And you have all the other homes in that area. Don't you see the bottleneck, the density of traffic in that area with, of all things, roundabouts? Have you ever seen a transport truck go through a roundabout? It's not a pretty sight. Why can't we just take this acreage that's right now? Okay, anyway, let me just state, why can't we just get this rezoned or keep it agricultural till we can vote in alcohol by the drink to bring in restaurants and grocery stores or, you know, large markets? And get something like that put in there rather than having that high concentration of traffic and people.
All right, thank you for
That's the
your input.
logic behind the whole thing.
I'm just gonna go down the list here. Ms. Ogle. Speak against the request. Can you state your name and address, please?
Okay. Good evening. My name is Martha Oakland. I'm on Hopewell Church Road in Trinity. I've been for 25 years. The reason I'm there is because I've loved in Trinity. I've raised my daughter here. I've sent her to good schools. We know our neighbors. We talk to each other. We share things from her garden, all this kind of thing. Why would we want to ruin Trinity with this proposal? Why? We are green. We want to keep it green. We like our community. I have been up and down the road, Welborn Road, Hopewell Church Road, all over the place talking to people who live here. Why do you live here? 100% thumbs down, nobody wants it.
A lot of people are still at work this evening and couldn't come, unfortunately. Keep Trinity green, please, for us all. We don't need this. We don't want to live in Greensboro, Kernersville, Winston-Salem. We don't, or we would go there. Would we? Would you? Are our taxes going to go up to help pay for this sewer project under 85? What's going to happen there? I don't have sewer. I've been on Hopewell Church Road ever since the talk of it began. I don't really care, I don't want it, but it's never come out my way, and I've been paying taxes for a very long time. Not if, but when this rezoning doesn't pass. Will the land be available for agriculture again and continue so? Or will it be maybe something that could perk for homes that could be on 5 or 10 acre parcels with lovely homes? People can have their own gardens, their own space. You know, I think people would buy that. People would live there, especially after this pandemic. People don't want to live in these close quarters. You go crazy. I have people who have been living in apartments, believe me, I know. We're lucky. We have places we can go. So, what do houses, apartments, townhomes, and pavement grow? Guess what? More houses, townhomes, apartments, and pavement. They will start to take over Trinity, bite, bite, bite. They will. Look what happened to Thomasville. I want to know who's going to pay for this sewer and how. Is it going to come out of my pocket? I want to know who and with whose money will maintain all of the road developments. I want to know how the traffic is going to be rerouted during this massive roading and roundabouting and all that stuff. I know where it's going to go. It's going to go Kennedy Road, Morris Road. I hear they're talking about widening that bridge forward. I could go on. I have pages, but my time is up. I think I've spoken my mind. I am opposed to this completely. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Have a nice evening. For these batteries.
All right. Is it Sylvia?
Yes, sir.
State your name and address.
My name is Sylvia Gobble. I live at 4153 Hopewell Church Road. I rent from Martha. I moved here, it'll be 3 years this November. I moved here from Thomasville, North Carolina. 44 years there in the Hasty area. And you know what that's like. And that's why I moved to Trinity, because it is very peaceful, it's quiet. Hopewell Church Road already has enough traffic. Wellborn already has enough traffic. I don't think we need it, or y'all need it. It's none of my business. I just live here. But anyway, I do not want it. I oppose it. And I hope and pray that y'all will oppose it too. Thank you.
All right, thank you. All right, is it Gary?
Always, well,
Okay, all right. Judy? Okay. All right, that was under the opposing. I guess you're not opposing. And it's Scott, you're Scott. All right, so does anybody else want to speak against the rezoning?
I'm going to check before that news.
Okay, yes, some emails about here.
Yes, I received, or Mark and I received some emails to us today. One of them was from a lady that just spoke. You want me to share your email? Okay, I received this from Martha Ogle. She says, I'm writing this email to express my total opposition for the discussions and plans to rezone the 137 acres mentioned above. In addition, I will completely oppose the building of such massive housing development here, and for that matter, anywhere in Trinity. To date, there's already several new developments in progress in this area. I've been a resident of Trinity for 25 years and have been so because of the rural nature, its small town atmosphere, its agricultural land, the schools, and location to name a few reasons. Keep Trinity green, keep Trinity personable. I'm extremely concerned about schools being overwhelmed, crime, traffic, loss of precious agricultural land, losing community to people who are unknown and commuting from bigger cities and towns, and bringing Trinity things most of us don't want. At best, if the landowner must sell for personal reasons, I would only hope the acreage could be sold in a minimum of 5+ acre parcels and be allowed to be mini farms where people would enjoy growing gardens, having hoofed animals and good space and appreciate the area. Less populated, less traffic, better for the current Trinity area, maintaining what Trinity residents want it to be. But no on this awful rezoning and development. I received another one from a resident in Bellwood. And it says, I know that you have an uneasy task for rezoning property. At the end of these meetings, when the vote is counted, someone is happy and someone is not. I do believe in growth of the city and understand the possible tax revenue that comes with growth. Today, I received your official notice of the public hearing for the rezoning request for the property being proposed for development of 52 acres at the corner of Finch Farm Road and NC 62. I am new to this area and we currently live in the Bellwood development and have since June of 2019. Since our journey to our new home, my wife and I have learned to make large adjustments due to the high amount of traffic and noise on the NC 62 at all hours of day and night. I do not support this rezoning request for the following reasons. One, there's an overage of traffic on this road as we speak at all hours of day and night already. Sometimes during the week and the weekends, you have to wait for more than 5 minutes before you can gain access to NC 62 because of the traffic. This road is used for morning and afternoon commutes to work and back. From work and second and third shift jobs, people going into Thomasville and High Point. Second, there's an overage of traffic on this road, and as we speak, all hours of day and night of people in this area going to Thomasville for shopping as well. Number 3, there's an overage of traffic on this road as we speak at all hours of day and night for people supporting the sheep store on Finch Farm Road. Number 4, I have witnessed emergency vehicles having to deal with heavy traffic on NC 62 and Finch Farm Road due to the traffic congestion which slows their response. If this rezoning request was for a new single home development, I would not have expressed a concern. I just feel that rezoning the multi-family apartment dwelling is adding to the already traffic congestion problem in this area. Thank you for your time and allowing my concerns to be heard. I received another one. To whom it may concern. It's hard. I was just informed of the meeting scheduled for Monday, July the 27th, regarding the plan for building apartments, townhomes, and single-family homes on Wilburn Road, 62 and Finch Farm Road. I would like to let you know that I disapprove of this proposal. We moved to Trinity in 2005 from Greensboro. It is a small town with beautiful land and trees, fewer people, less crime, and much better and safer schools. My belief is that by building the gigantic complex of homes, you are inviting the very things to Trinity that we were escaping from. Granted, I do think we need a decent grocery store and some sort of entertainment for our residents, but adding so many homes is highly questionable. Traffic is already horrendous. Practically every side street ends in a cul-de-sac or a dead end and no way through, no shortcuts, so we all end up on those 2-lane roads at the same time. Can you imagine what it would be like if all the proposed homes were filled? What, with an influx of that many people, our morning and afternoon commutes would be so much worse, not to mention the length of the bus routes for the kids. Schools will be overcrowded, which will inhibit our children's ability to learn and grow. The school administration will be stretched unbelievably thin and kids will fall through the cracks. The long-term effects of this decision should be carefully taken into consideration. Please do not build these homes. Thank you for your time and your consideration. Last, to whom it may concern, I'm writing to let you know that many of the community oppose the rezoning of land between NC 62 and Wilburn Road. It is unfortunate that this wasn't publicized sooner than it was and that we, the citizens, aren't allowed to attend the meeting due to COVID-19. I believe that the community would be up to some
that the community would be up for some retail properties such as grocery stores and a hardware store to be built in this area. However, the proposed housing is too much for this area. There's already considerable congestion in the proposed area. Involve 396 apartments, 214 townhomes, and 100 single-family homes that will increase traffic by approximately 1,420 cars at minimum. 1,420 is assuming that each resident has 2 cars and doesn't include driving age children, adding that many residents will also cause a burden to our schools. Many of us choose to stay in Trinity for the small town, but yet country, well, I think they said county feel, I think it should be country feel. If we wanted to live in congested communities, then we would move to Greensboro or Winston. I ask that the board vote against the proposal, or at very minimum, delay the vote to give the community a chance to let their voice be heard. That was for that.
Well done, man. Lottery.
Mr. Chair, I went outside and there's nobody else that signed up to speak.
Okay.
You want to ask? There is a bunch of people in the car. I don't know if you want to ask.
All right, anybody listening outside, if you'd like to speak against this proposal, please come in.
That's gonna like time.
I'm sorry.
How would that work? That's gonna like time.
I can step out and see if anybody is coming.
Okay.
They were told to tune into the radio. They do have good reception, so let me check.
All right. Okay, good one. All right, we'll take any other closed comments at this time. Hearing none, we'll close the public hearing and welcome the planning board discussion.
There's a fine line between too much and what's okay with the people that live here. I do agree that we live in a small town, and I don't personally want to feel like I live in the middle of the city of Greensboro or Winston, and I do not want to bring more and more large communities that are. And I've also found out that Steeplegate Village is marketing not only to around here, but they're going to California, and going to New York. We've got a lot of people coming in from other states. I think it's overwhelming a little bit for our roads. I mean, it's already very trafficy. I live right there. So, I mean, I just don't know. I want to know what your opinion are.
I mean, without the TIA at this
Yeah.
point, it'd be really hard to even make a recommendation. I mean, that's kind of an incomplete picture.
And we are known as like being, small town neighborhoods and things like that. It's just the whole apartment complex thing and just that's, I feel like that's getting really, really commercially like a large city, like we're trying to make Trinity a large city. And I don't know that the residents of Trinity would like that. And I do believe that that's probably why they do here. So I don't know. I'd like to get your opinion.
I'm with it. I'm with it, but I'm not with the big box retail stores coming like that. I understand what you're saying about residents and whatnot, but I think it might be a little time for more people to come to experience what you're talking about, the living aspect of it, living. But I'm not with the big box stores.
I just don't think the roads can handle that. And I know large developers say it'll be in phases, but they can have it done quickly. I just not sure that the roads would be right now. And DOT could push it back again. They've already pushed it back, I don't know how many times on doing the Finch Farm Road project. I'm just concerned that that could possibly not have enough funding to get this back in. You agree with that?
Yeah,
I mean, this has been pushed back like 3 or 4 times already, so I just don't trust that they will perform. And then we may have a big mess when it's all said and done. What do you think?
you have, maybe like that.
What do you feel about it? I'm with you on those situations. We need to be able to handle. Yeah, and that's maybe it too, is that maybe if we were better prepared, the city was actually better prepared, I maybe feel differently. But you don't, just because you have a city doesn't mean you should turn every city in this country into a Greensboro or a Raleigh or a Lakeland. There are the rural cities that would like to stay small town cities. That's why certain people move there, and there's other reasons why people move to Greensboro. So I hear the residents, and I know before we had this come up where y'all proposed one portion, and I thought, well, you know, that wouldn't be that bad. We have to have growth, but this just seems overwhelming a little bit, and I just think it's too much for me personally as a board member.
Well,
We give the DOT information.
I mean, yeah,
And we can table
for me,
it.
without the TIA, I
Yeah.
just need a complete picture anyway, before I would make a recommendation.
I need to put it all at the same time. Yeah,
Did y'all,
I wouldn't feel
is that going to be available, you said, next month? Is that what we're understanding?
Yeah, so it will be available in, but it's not exactly, but sometime in August is where the forecast of, and if I can just answer your question, sure. Yeah, so this is a very large investment, and I understand that people want the Trinity to be the way Trinity is on the concern actually Midway, all the Davis County, and Davis, and I value that type of lifestyle, suburban lifestyle. What we have here, what you guys hear is really something that's really magnificent, if you will, because you've got this property. I know there's traffic, and I know there's traffic on roads and there's school issues, but you have a magnificent opportunity here for first-class development along Interstate 85, which gives you, as you well know, to Greensboro, High Point, Charlotte, and many other places far off from that. So a lot of the traffic will be getting on 85 and will not be dispersed. And another reason it's a magnificent opportunity is that commercial property there that I know one time there was proposed a grocery store, and there was one time proposed a sit-down restaurant. I know there's some other opportunities. And listening to our brokers and the other Chamber of Commerce types, that the retail, restaurants, grocery stores follow residential rooftops. And to get those A-quality type restaurants, amenities, and grocers, they need to have enough consumers. And that's a magnificent opportunity that Trinity has on this property. And the fact that it's right on a major corridor. UCDOT has already pledged to build a 4 roundabout system which will handle traffic like it's seamless. So I mean, there are so many magnificent opportunities with this property, and being a local home builder, a local developer, we really look forward to do something that's really first class. I wear my shirt almost every day. I'm proud of the shirt, I'm proud of what we do. It's myself and a partner, and then we have 25 years. And we do, I'm biased, but we do first class communities, first class developments. We do landscaping. But we have this big saying, we want to ride about 5 years after it's developed. We want to see how much there is then. I hope that you've been able to see some of our other communities that we've done in the triad. We're still working with 5-6 county triad. We've shared with Mark some examples of our work that we're proud of. The you guys to look at. And it's always cool that we can show people what we do versus an artist friendly. Say what we're going to do. So, they say you have a great opportunity here. We have the intersection on 85, having 4 roundabouts. It's the traffic's there, it's going to be there. Or more, but you've got investments coming. We're going to be widening roads. We're going to be doing turn lanes. We're going to be investing in the infrastructure. Sizably. So.
I'm sure you build beautiful, I mean, I'm sure you do very nice things.
Right.
I'm sure, I think we've been some y'all here before, right? We were here before or something.
We were.
That's what it was. Okay, I knew you've been here before. But I'm sure you do beautiful things. It's just that I still feel like that if we took a vote for all of our citizens, I bet you 98% of them would say, please don't bring big city feel to our city.
Well,
That's the only thing that I'm concerned about. Well, I'd say that's one of the main things I'm concerned with. And the traffic, although they put roundabouts, it is very hard getting off the highway already. And that's, you know, you're saying people are coming in highway usage mainly, and this would really increase that on the roundabouts that they're planning on putting in. I mean, you're coming down highway 5 o'clock trying to get off the exit, get turned left. I don't even know how many roundabouts are the daughter anymore.
I'm gonna run roundabout with my, stop it from that happening. It'll feel like water with those, roundabouts. He ain't gonna stop.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Well, like I said, for my money, with no TIA, I mean, it'd be hard for me to make any kind of recommendation. So, Mark, what would be your idea as far as table, or just send it with no recommendation? Or how did?
First of all, the city council's meeting on this in September, so that's, let me speak, because people can't hear me, I'm sorry. Yeah, city council is meeting on this on September the, I'll say the second Monday, I'm sorry, is that the 14th?
I think so.
September 14th, so, what we're looking at is that, yeah, I mean, I agree, if we had TIA, we'd have more of a complete picture, so, I'm not sure about P&Z tabling. Bob, I don't know what's your thoughts? Can P&Z table?
Again, they feel like if they need to look at that, different report, it's certainly table next month. They've had the vote, it's closed here. We'll table it so they can report that. And submit it. Yes, whoever mentioned, tomorrow.
Do you understand that?
That's the primary concern.
It's not about public hearing.
Right.
It's not about people aren't public. Public hearings only for consideration of board of the ECDOT.
It's up to you, however you want to do it, if you wanted to table it, or you can,
Well,
you can vote to pass it on without recommendations.
I'm not mad about it today, so I'd rather you table it.
Well, let me just ask you this. If you had a TIA report, how would you, I mean, would you still,
I still don't.
that's what I'm saying, it may be unnecessary anyway.
I mean, maybe we should discuss it more. But right now, I don't feel, it's like too much. I feel like it's too much.
You don't feel like it's not gonna change your opinion.
Right. But like I said, we're just making a recommendation anyway. It's gonna be up to council to, and, you know, everybody that showed up tonight, you'll have to show up again if you want your, council to hear your voice. You want to?
Is there no way I can speak this one?
It's up to you.
Yeah, that's fine. I will listen.
I'm sorry. I just want to point out this gentleman that's head of the homes, I mean, he did get where he is without being a good salesman, okay? But he's overlooking the fact that he can point out that, they can put restaurants and food chains in there, but you're not going to get them in there unless you get a liquor by the drink. You get alcohol, yes, you're going to get them in there, right? I don't know when this is going to come up for the citizens to vote on, but if they want this, they need to get in there and approve it so we can get the ball rolling, but again, it's just, that's what it all points to, I think, but.
That's, I understand,
Like Ms. Dennis said, 90%, 95% of the vote, right, 95% of the people don't want this development in that location, okay? And he doesn't live over here, he's already gone over here. He doesn't live over here, he doesn't know what the problem is with traffic and what the situation is. But I just want to interject those points, okay? Thank you for letting me speak.
all right, thank you. No, nothing. I mean, it doesn't,
Right, it ain't gonna affect.
I mean,
It's just prolonged.
right, if it's something that would change your mind, then sure. If not, then I'll say we can go ahead and take a recommendation. And if you want to make a recommendation, what page is that on, Mark?
Let's see, you got page, the last one's page 16, but it's page 16, and I'm trying to find the other page real quick. Yeah,
Are we gonna
page
make a
7.
recommendation on separately or just, or both of them?
I prefer you do it all together. Can you do it all together in one, Bob?
No, I just do it separately.
All right, never mind, then do it separately.
So,
Okay.
I mean, they are two separate.
One's north 85 and one's south, right?
Okay, here it is on page 16.
He's got it right. Ambrose is, the first one's page 7, the second one's page 16.
All right, so I'll take a recommendation, on the, rezoning of eastern portion. PIN number 679-741-2387 and all of 679-752-5853 from highway commercial to residential mix. Page 7.
I just can't.
Okay, we'll make a motion.
I have to make a motion to not approve it because
We don't need to read, what that
I
says.
think the impact, I need to read the motion, to not recommend rezoning, would prefer to have the Wyland Fish Farm road completed for this development. I think it's, we don't have enough from DOT on when they're gonna get things done. Things have been pushed back, if they said we're gonna get widened. I think funding with the pandemic, I think there's just a lot of things going on right now, but I don't trust DOT is actually gonna get to do the things that they have said that they're gonna do. They keep pushing things back, so I'm sorry, I can't do it right now.
All right,
For me.
take a second.
So,
Second. All in favor? Any opposed? All right. Take a motion on the rezoning of western portion 679-741-2387 from residential agricultural to highway commercial, and rezoning of eastern portion of 679-741-2387 and all of 679-761-3814 and 679-751-9006 from residential agricultural to residential mixed. On page 16.
motion to not recommend rezoning.
Read the specific action.
Motion to not recommend rezoning to residential mixed, prefer to have Wyland Fish Farm road completed first before this development.
All right, take a second. Second. All in favor? Any opposed?
I'm opposed to that.
Okay. And so we had all in favor? How many ayes?
Aye.
Okay, so 3, motion passes. Okay. I will take business from staff.
All right, you know, if you noticed, we changed the way we were code enforcement report.
Yeah, I like that.
Yeah, kind of the picture of what it looks like after it's dated, where we're at. The oldest one's Meadowbrook Drive, it's not open, we expect it to eventually open whenever phase 3 becomes enacted. That's the reason, that's the reason why it's not been, taken off the code enforcement list. I mean, I may be wrong, it may not come, but I want to keep it there until, now they still owe, they have had a fine accumulation too, but that's, we'll wait till we get to phase 3. If they don't come back, we'll take it off. If they do come back, we'll start it back up. Is there any in particular that you want to talk about before? I don't want to read through every one.
Is there any particular you want to talk
I know the one that's probably on your mind is the one on, there's a weird one here on the URI. We have a guy that's, I guess he's in a belief that, I'm trying to think of the words. And Bob, you might have to help me out. This is the guy.
Delusion.
Okay, he's in grandeurs of delusion anyway. He's supposedly getting an attorney. We're kind of waiting to see if it happens. If it doesn't, we'll just continue on. But he has moved some stuff. He hasn't done a whole lot. The van in itself isn't illegal, and I think he's probably living in it. This is one where he kind of goes back and forth. We've had the county out here because we've been told by himself that he's living in a little building right there. But they can't find any waste products around the house, so obviously he's driving somewhere else to use the restroom. So they're not, they don't find any proof that he's living there. They specifically look for, I guess, that issue.
Was this notice you got, was that verbatim?
Yes, I didn't quote his verbatim policy.
I saw the quotation.
There is a term for what he's part of, but I don't remember the term. I've heard the acronym 803, but there's a group of people who feel like if it's not specifically written in a constitution, you don't have any rights.
Free citizens or?
Yeah.
Whatever, freedom.
Okay, yeah, so he's part of this group, so,
They don't drive, they travel.
yes, so the expectation is we're probably gonna push him, he'll eventually get an attorney, how that goes in court of law, I don't know, that's Bob's viewpoint. As far as that, most of this stuff is just grass, I don't have much else to talk about. On your zoning permit report, 6 homes have been built last month. That puts us at 31 for halfway through, over halfway through the year. Is there any questions from the analyst?
Any questions? Any comments from the staff? No. Any comments from the board? Welcome you again. Glad to have you. And I'll take a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn.
Second. All in favor?